In early January, we did an expose on Reza Aslan, and it was produced and researched by our great segment producer and intern, Noah Ferguson. The video did very well. We had no response from Reza Aslan. We didn't really expect one. We really didn't care about one. And over the last couple of weeks, Reza Aslan had a show he was involved in to some extent get canceled after just a couple of episodes. So people have been Googling his name, and as a result, our video has been coming up and traffic has really increased to the video. It's up to about 210,000 views now, over 10,000 likes. Saturday, around noon, I look at my Twitter page and things completely blew up. Reza Aslan sort of commented on the video, but not really. We'll put the tweet exchange up on the screen for you here. Reza Aslan was asked to comment on the video, and he said, "I don't respond to people's homemade videos. If I did, I'd do nothing else. Anyone could say anything on the internet." And someone on Twitter wrote back and said, "I think David Pakman has an office," to which Reza Aslan responded, "I don't know who this is, and I don't care." Interesting. Now, then he clarified after I tweeted a sort of explanation. I said, "Hey, Reza has finally responded." And he says he's not going to respond. His response is that he's not going to respond. He's now had numerous responses talking about how he doesn't have time to respond. Make heads or tails out of that. And then Reza Aslan tweeted a sort of clarifying remark to me saying, "Yep, that's about right. Any expose by someone I've never heard of questioning my academic credentials is not worth it." And then Lewis really blew up Twitter. Lewis, in his nascent venture into social media, coming up with something pretty clever. Lewis tweeted over the weekend, Reza Tactics 101. I don't know you, and you don't have as many degrees as me. Therefore, nothing you say matters. So let's address this quickly. First of all, the critique that the video is homemade is pretty flaccid. I mean, we have a studio. We've had studios, proper studios, for years and years. But what difference does that make in terms of what's being said? I mean, imagine, listen, Lewis, I don't read books that people wrote at home. All of these people sitting around at home writing books, that's unprofessional. Where else would we apply this?
If you take a very simple example of some 8-year-old sitting in front of a webcam on their laptop at home, and that 8-year-old saying 2 + 2 is 4.
Right.
And then you take Wolf Blitzer and you put him in the Situation Room and you have Wolf Blitzer say it. Is somehow what Wolf's saying more important, more relevant, or more true?
Yeah, no, I mean, my question is as far as the truth of it. And Reza Aslan, I mean, it was like a dozen tweets over the weekend responding to people all about how he doesn't have the time to respond to us. And quite frankly, I don't care. I don't need a response
he
from
really
Reza Aslan.
shouldn't respond, right? He has no reason to.
A lot of
It's just
people
gonna make him
writing,
look bad.
a lot of people writing and saying the reason you're not responding is because if even a quarter of what is discussed in the video is true, it's really, really bad for your credibility. And it appears that more than a quarter is true, to say the least. So that's the update. A lot of people always writing in saying, has Reza Aslan ever responded? He now has, and it was all about how he just doesn't have time to respond. A lot of time spent on those responses about not responding to the response over the weekend.
Well, maybe if the video keeps doing well and people start applying pressure to Reza to respond, maybe he will feel he'll have no choice at some point.
At this point, I really could not care less about a response. The non-response about responses is all the response I needed, that's for sure.